The information economy has changed the services industry forever. Low barriers to entry have created a marketplace where anyone, anywhere can compete in any market without permission. The agent in the middle is getting cut out in a world where supply and demand can connect in an instant on a global scale. But there is a different model emerging, where online presence is used as a tool to display deep industry knowledge, with left-brain logic outsourced to the microchip. Artificial intelligence will do the grunt work of answering tough questions, so the humans interacting can focus on what questions to actually ask in the first place. This episode, we speak with Nick Hodges, consultant to startups who are thriving in this world. We're talking about the future of services. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Now we've got all these tools and technologies here. What does that mean for people in the service industry?
There's a whole bunch of ways you can outsource parts of your business that previously took time that wasn't the doing of the thing. There's maybe something additional to that as well, which is expanding what you do. If you're a physio, how can you actually be spending time not just doing admin, but also becoming a better physio as well?
One of the things that we need to think about a lot more is don't sell your time 1 hour at a time. Yeah, you're doing the work and it takes time, but it really should be outcome driven, because as soon as you start talking about something at an hour at a time, it actually devalues the thing that you're delivering.
I needed to get a contract looked over by my lawyer, and I sent it through to her, and she came back to me and said, well, this will take me about an hour, so it'll cost this much. And it was funny because the outcome of that was far greater than what she was charging me. Cleaners often will just charge by the hour. It's like, why not just charge for cleaning a house?
So if you're in the services consulting business, right, where your knowledge, and now knowledge is so freely available, how can you make sure that your source remains special source?
And I work in media, and so what digital has done to media is made, particularly from a news perspective, everything available at any time. Yet we still have these sort of central brands of news, and that's because they're about trust and they're about authenticity. I've recently been working on a report with a mentor of mine who's worked in media for, I probably shouldn't say quite how long, 40-ish years. And he can charge, phenomenal numbers. And it might take him a day or two to write the report, but you're not paying for 2 days, you're paying for 40 years in 2 days.
Think about real estate, for example. A real estate agent who's providing a service. We can go to some automated system to list the house, to put the photos up to that could all be outsourced. But you know what? I want to hold someone's hand who's done this every day for the last 40 years and actually advise me through the decisions that I need to make. A lot of businesses used to be, they were the purveyors of the information that was kept behind this secret gate in services. Well, the gates have been opened and we can all go in there and have a look, but it's still confusing. So I want to trust the person and go, can you help me through this? Help me ask the right questions so that the answers present themselves.
So as a service business, how can you find scale?
I think finding scale is really interesting as artificial intelligence develops. A lot of the work that we used to do in services would be us in our cave doing the work. We need to try and get software and artificial intelligence and programs to do a lot of that work so we can spend more time with our customers, help our customers understand how we're solving their problem by interfacing with them. And that's something we can do more of the more we outsource software and artificial intelligence to do some of that work we used to do out on our own, down in the cave.
The factory work.
That's right.
Yeah. Are there some universal actions which people in the service industry can take to future-proof themselves?
There's a couple of things that people could think about as we move into the future as things become more digital. One way that I like to think about this is arbitraging time. You take one thing and by sort of flipping it around or turning it around or repackaging it, you can get more out of it. It might be through productizing or it might be through outsourcing and just focusing on what you do well. Another interesting opportunity is arbitraging geography. And in Australia especially, if you're in a business that isn't selling sort of physical outcomes, then you can do that around the world. You can either be selling around the world or you can have clients around the world. And in Australia especially, you might be working for clients that are in the US or in Europe. And so you're actually doing work while they sleep.
Sam, what do you reckon?
I mean, everyone does something superbly well. That's their killer skill. You can really turn that into a product. You can turn that into software and take your digital wood chips of that thing and create a digital version of that thing that you do, and potentially that becomes something you can even sell to your competitors, and it might even be value in other service industries that are different to yours. So you've got to look at the thing that you do and see how you can turn that into digital wood chips.
An action I reckon which is universal across all service industries is this notion of developing your own personal brand and proving to people you are the expert, because trust, authenticity, we've spoken about their key ingredients, and if you can portray that, you're going to be selected and you're also going to be worth more. So it's a great opportunity for you to put your hand up and say, I am the first choice and here's the reason why. It's going to have huge impact across the business.